11 years, which raises the question, what crimes does Joe Biden think his son has been committing for the last decade plus?
Reversal for the president, who previously said he would not use his executive authority to pardon his own son or commute his sentence.
Did you hear about Biden's latest move to protect Hunter? It's not what you think. Tom Cotton reveals how the president's attempt to shield his son has opened a Pandora's box of legal troubles. Biden's pardon strategy just took an unexpected turn. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Tom Cotton's sharp analysis has exposed a critical flaw in Biden's pardon plan for Hunter.
Pridefully boasted about his word as a Biden, and I guess we now know that his word as a Biden is trash.
What seemed like a protective measure now threatens to unravel the very fabric of secrecy the Bidens have carefully woven. The pardon's scope is staggering, covering an 11-year period that encompasses Joe Biden's entire vice presidency. This sweeping clemency was likely intended to shield Hunter from potential legal consequences.
For months, he and his White House spokespersons promised the American people they wouldn't pardon Hunter Biden.
However, it's this very breadth that has inadvertently set the stage for a legal spectacle. At the heart of this unexpected turn is a fundamental legal principle. Pardons strip away Fifth Amendment protections. This seemingly arcane legal concept has far-reaching implications for Hunter Biden. No longer can he invoke his right against self-incrimination if called to testify before Congress or a grand jury. The shield he once wielded has been transformed into a double-edged sword. The repercussions of this legal twist are profound. Hunter may now be compelled to disclose potentially damaging information about his business dealings. This includes details of meetings with foreign officials during trips on Air Force Two and his lucrative position on the board of a Ukrainian energy company, a role for which he lacked qualifications. Every conversation, every deal, every questionable decision is now fair game for scrutiny. Legal experts are sounding the alarm about the potential fallout. Former Assistant U.S. Attorney Andy McCarthy warns that Hunter could be summoned before a grand jury. There, he would have no choice but to testify about others involved in the alleged Biden influence peddling scheme. This scenario opens up a Pandora's box of legal vulnerabilities, potentially implicating a wider circle of individuals. The consequences of Hunter's inability to plead the Fifth extend beyond his personal legal jeopardy. It creates a pathway for investigators to delve deeper into the Biden family's dealings without the usual constitutional barriers.
Charges against Hunter only came about after his, quote, political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election.
This newfound legal exposure threatens to cast a long shadow over Joe Biden's presidency. As the full implications of this pardon strategy come into focus, it's clear that what was intended as a protective measure has backfired spectacularly. The Biden administration now faces a precarious situation where attempts to shield Hunter have instead paved the way for unprecedented scrutiny. This unexpected turn of events opens up new avenues for investigation.
Was that your laptop?
For real, I don't know.
I know, but you know that this is.
I really don't know.
Okay.
The answer is.
You don't know, yes or no, if the laptop.
I don't have any idea.
With Hunter potentially compelled to testify, previously hidden aspects of the Biden family's business dealings may soon come to light. The question now is not if, but when and how these revelations will reshape the political landscape. While all eyes have been on Hunter Biden, a more significant investigation has been quietly unfolding. James Comer's latest statements hint at a widening scope that could shake the very foundations of the Biden administration. What exactly has Comer uncovered that's causing such concern in Washington?
For 11 years, which raises the question, what crimes does Joe Biden think his son has been committing for the last decade plus?
The current investigations into the Biden family have already revealed a complex web of business dealings and potential conflicts of interest. But Comer, leading the charge, suggests we've only scratched the surface. He's set his sights on expanding the probe beyond Hunter, targeting previously unexplored areas that could implicate Joe Biden himself. At the center of this widening investigation are the mysterious Phenom emails and Studium emails. These communications, according to Comer, may contain damning evidence linking Joe Biden to a money laundering scheme involving foreign adversaries. The White House's reluctance to release these emails has only fueled suspicions and raised questions about what they might contain. The pardon that was meant to protect Hunter has inadvertently opened a Pandora's box.
Did he lie to them about that? Look at the scope of the pardon. It's far beyond the offenses for which he was convicted.
With Hunter potentially unable to invoke his Fifth Amendment rights, he may be compelled to testify about his father's involvement in various business dealings. This could expose a broader network of influence and corruption that extends far beyond one man's misdeeds. Comer has expressed frustration over the White House's lack of cooperation, accusing the administration of actively obstructing the investigation. This stonewalling has only intensified scrutiny on Joe Biden's tenure as vice president and the potential conflicts of interest that may have arisen during that time.
And this week, he used that power to pardon his son, Hunter, who was convicted on federal gun and tax crimes.
The timeline of Hunter's business activities aligns suspiciously with significant events during Joe Biden's vice presidency. This correlation raises serious concerns about the extent of the elder Biden's knowledge and potential involvement in his son's dealings. The implications of these connections could have far-reaching consequences for the current administration.
President Joe Biden pardoned his son Hunter. Biden announced the decision in a statement saying that
as the investigation expands, it's becoming clear that the pardon strategy may have backfired spectacularly. Instead of shielding Hunter, it has potentially implicated the president himself. The coming months are likely to bring a flood of new information as investigators follow the trail of evidence that the pardon has inadvertently exposed. The Biden administration now faces a critical dilemma. How will they respond to the mounting pressure for transparency?
Reversal for the president, who previously said he would not use his executive authority to pardon his own son or commute his sentence.
Will they continue to obstruct, or will they be forced to cooperate as the investigation closes in? The answers to these questions could determine the future of Joe Biden's presidency and reshape the political landscape for years to come.
So, it's likely that Hunter would have received mercy either way, but this has been seen as so controversial coming from Hunter's own father.
Biden's attempt to shield Hunter through a pardon has backfired, transforming a protective measure into a potential liability. By removing Hunter's Fifth Amendment protections, the pardon has exposed both Biden's to increased scrutiny and legal jeopardy. The administration now faces a difficult choice: continue obstructing investigations and risk appearing guilty, or cooperate and potentially reveal damaging information. This decision carries significant political weight. If evidence emerges linking Joe Biden to his son's questionable dealings, it could severely damage his presidency and the Democratic Party's prospects. The expanding scope of investigations threatens to overshadow Biden's policy agenda and erode public trust. As this situation unfolds, one question looms large. Will the pardon ultimately prove to be the undoing of the very protection it aimed to provide?